Okay, friends, I am Sagar Chaudhary, Professor of Thermal Engineering. We'll see the distribution of marks and the what is thermal engineering actually contain. There is 70 marks in semester exam. Practical will be also there for 30 marks. Then totally it will be out of 150 marks. Then we have to study, or what we will learn from this chapter is there are too many systems in the universe that we have to study, or which temperature or energy transform from one form to one another form, or this energy transformation takes place. Now so we have to apply this law of thermodynamics to this all the systems like refrigerator, AC, heat pumps, or we can say heaters. All these equipments we have to study with the help of thermodynamics, and we will use the thermodynamics or law of thermodynamics to the closed system, open system, and study different type of boilers, steam nozzle, turbine, condenser, and mode of heat transfer like radiation, convection, conduction. All these mode of heat transfer we are going to learn in this thermal engineering. Okay, the syllabus is divided mainly in 6 units, that is fundamentals of thermodynamics, which we will study today, ideal gas and ideal gas processes, steam and steam boilers, steam turbine, steam condensers, heat transfer, and heat exchanger, which has the distribution mark like as 8, 14, 14, 16, 10, and 8. So total out of 70 marks you have to write the paper. Okay, next, this fundamental of thermodynamics. This is the thermodynamics is very important branch of the engineering. In engineering you will have to study a full subject as a thermodynamics. So some fundamentals are given for the diploma students. So we will study that basic concept in thermodynamics. So first thing is that what is thermodynamics? Thermodynamics is the science which deals with the heat transfer between the system and surrounding. In this thermodynamics we are going to study the interaction of heat, temperature, whatever these are the thing, the interaction of this temperature or heat energy, the system and surround in the system and surrounding. Okay, now okay, more concept, the system and what are the system and surrounding we will discuss furthermore. Now, pure substance. What is pure substance? A substance that has fixed chemical composition throughout its mass is called pure substance. Means take any matter having same composition throughout its mass. That means take N2 gas, that is nitrogen. If we take 1 kilogram of nitrogen or 10 kilogram of nitrogen, then we will not find any different gas in that particular nitrogen. That means composition is same, does not depend on the mass. Okay, in the same way, helium gas, CO2 gas, H2, that is pure water. If you take water and find the what are the content of the content of water in 1 liter, and then similarly find what are the content in the 10 liter water, you will get the same content. That is pure substance. That means the composition remains same throughout, does not depend on the mass. How the mass is changes, it does not depend on that. Here are some pure substance. Okay, pure substance need not have single chemical compound. That means it is the pure substance can be mixture, but it must be homogeneous. Okay, this word is more important in this definition. It can be mixture, no problem. A pure substance can be a mixture, but it must be homogeneous. The mixture should be homogeneous. In that case, you can say that the substance is pure. That is, our example is air. Air is composed of too many gases: nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxide. There are too many gases in the air, but though the air contains too many gases, but it is still a pure gas, because it is composed of or it is homogeneous mixture. It is homogeneous mixture. Air is mixture, but it is homogeneous. That's why we have to consider it as a pure substance. Now working substance. Now working substance is what? A substance which is capable of absorbing and rejecting heat during the process is called working substance. This substance must be accept the heat or gain the heat or lose the heat easily. Those gases can be considered as working substance. That is freon and ammonia. And such gases are also filled in fridge, where heat exchange takes place. The gases or liquids flowing in the tubes of refrigerator are get easily vaporized and get easily condensed, because of they lose heat easily and gain heat easily. That's why they are working substances. Now, what is thermodynamic system? Any region under consideration, thermodynamic consideration, if we have to study something, that is or any machine in which the heat transfer is taking place, then that machine is our system. Or the specific region under consideration, the thing which is under consideration is our system on which we can apply law of thermodynamics. Then there is boundary. Boundary is what? A real or imaginary. A real or imaginary surrounding envelope enclosing the system is called as boundary. Then surrounding. Surrounding is the region around the system. Region outside the system is the surrounding. You can see the figure over here. This is system, this is boundary, and all this is what? The surrounding. Okay, now universe. One more concept is there, universe. Okay, universe. When the system and surrounding are put together forms the universe. The system and surrounding all are, when all these two are considered simultaneously, then this is the universe. Okay, there are some type of system, thermodynamic system. Okay, first is open system, second is closed, and third one is isolated. Okay, got it? Open system, closed system, and isolated system. Now open system. Open system is what? If the system in which both mass and energy transfer takes place across the boundary. If we consider a system, and from that system, if the mass and energy both get transferred, then the system is called as open system. Like a hot cup of tea placed in atmosphere. Okay, that what happened? That tea loses moisture as well as the temperature. You can see the vapors going out from that tea. That's why it is open system, because it is losing water as well and energy. That's why it becomes open system. Now closed system. What is closed system then? Same cup of tea, but lid is kept on its surface. Okay, that means when water, it will, closed system is what? Let's see, if only energy transfer, not mass, takes place across boundary, then the system is called as closed system. Energy can be transferred, but mass should not be transferred in that system. Then that system is called as closed system. Okay, consider the same cup of tea, but this time place a lid on its free space. Okay, you can see then, or if a cup of tea containing tea. Okay, and now if you covered this face with the lid, then the water will vaporize from the tea and again transfer to the tea, but this cup will lose the heat. Okay, this tea will lose heat, but no mass transfer. There is no mass transfer from the cup of tea. Okay, now therefore this system becomes closed. Open system is what? Just a cup of tea kept in atmosphere. It will lose vapors. Okay, it will lose vapor as well as it will lose temperature. That means it is giving out mass as well and energy also. Therefore this become open system. And now what is closed system? Just cover this face with lid. Okay, then the water vapor will again condense and fall into the tea, but this tea will cool down. Okay, this tea will cool down. That means energy is transferred but mass does not transfer. Therefore this system is closed system. Now third one is isolated system. What is isolated system? Okay, so you might have seen the thermos flask. We in which we put hot tea. It keeps the tea hot for longer time. Then why actually this happen? Because the container in which tea is kept, it is isolated from the surrounding. That's why it is isolated system. The system in which there is no transfer of mass or energy across the boundary. From that thermos flask there is no transfer of mass and even not energy. Therefore it becomes closed system. If you see that thermos flask, you can observe that this type of container is there. You might have seen a bulb over here. Okay, if this bulb breaks, then your thermos will not work properly, or it will not keep the tea inside the thermos hot if this bulb is broken. But actually what happened over here, the air from this air act as conductor. If air is present there, air is lid. If air is present in this space, then it will act as a conductor of heat and lose the heat from here. That's why what they actually do, they remove the air. They remove the air from here. From here the air is removed and this end is sealed. Okay, therefore what happen? If there is no air, there is no conducting media. Therefore this tea in this container, inner container, will be isolated from the surrounding. This is surrounding. This tea will be isolated from this surrounding. Therefore this thermos becomes the isolated system. Okay, now some more things are there in thermodynamics. Let's see that. Wait a second. Okay, property. What is property? It is defined as any observable or measurable characteristic of the system or the variable which determine the state or the property. Okay, what are the like temperature? We can measure the temperature. If we are heating the water, we can measure the temperature of water at any instant. That's why the temperature is property. Okay, temperature, pressure, volume, there are two, entropy, enthalpy, there are too many properties. All these are thermodynamic property. Okay, there are two types. Mainly there are two type of properties. One is intensive property and another is extensive property. Okay, let's see what is intensive property. Intensive means independent. Keep one thing in mind, that intensive, independent. Okay, let's see the Definitely, the property of matter that does not change with amount of matter, that is mass. If a property changes with mass, then it is extensive. But here is independent of mass is intensive. Independent of mass is intensive. That means the property which does not change with change in mass, that is intensive property. Like temperature. If you take 1 liter of water and measure its temperature, and same water with 10 liter capacity, 10 liter will have the same temperature. More water does not mean more temperature. Therefore temperature is intensive property. Density is also intensive property because it does not depend upon the mass. Density of wood is constant. Okay, density of wood is constant. Whether you take 1 kg or 2 kg doesn't mean anything. Okay, but length is extensive property, or size is extensive property. It is depend on mass. Extensive property is what? Which is depend on mass. If you take 1 kg of wood and 2 kg of wood, then 2 kg wood will have more size than 1 kg of wood. Therefore size, length, mass, volume, all these are extensive property. Let's see the extensive property. The property of matter that depend on matter, that is mass, is called extensive property. When, or the property which depend on mass, that is extensive property. Like size, volume, mass, length, all these are extensive property. Then state is what? It is the condition of the system at any particular moment, which can be defined by the statement of or its property, such as pressure, temperature, volume. These are the state: pressure, temperature, volume. Okay, that means if we are heating a cup of tea, then we can measure its temperature at any time. So that will be a particular state. Okay, we know the freezing point of ice, that is one state. Okay, then melting point of ice. So these are the state where we can measure the different property of the system. Then process is defined as transformation in which change from one initial state to final state or another. What is process? Process is what? The state is changing. That is when we heat water, or heating of water is a process in which water get vaporized, or from liquid state to vapor state. Okay, this is process of heating in which form of the substance get changed. Then cycle, it is the process or combination of process so conducted that the initial and final state of the system are the same, also called as cyclic process. This are cycle. What is cycle? If we take ice, heat it to the 40-degree temperature and again cool it down to the 0 degree Celsius to make it solid, that means it becomes a cycle. This will be a cyclic process. Now, path. Thermodynamic system passing through a several of state constitute a path. So thermodynamic system when passes through several stages, that if we connect all these stages, then it will be the path. Now quasi-static process. There is one more type of process is quasi-static. Quasi-static means very slow process means quasi-static process. This quasi-static process go through, or it carried through the equilibrium. It is, this quasi-static process are so slow that every state is in equilibrium. Okay, then let's see quasi-static thermodynamic process that happens slowly so that the process remain in internal equilibrium. That is the quasi-static process. Now Okay, any reversible process is a quasi-static process. Reversible process, and that means again take same example that water is heated, then now heating of water will take longer time. Okay, that means it is slow process, quasi-static process. If we heat the water, it will vaporize. After some time, if the temperature of vapors fall down, it will again converted into the water. So this is again, it becomes a reversible cycle, reversible process. Therefore quasi-static process are reversible process because it travel through small steps which are in equilibrium. Now there are two type of process again, non-flow process and flow process. Non-flow process was the process occurring in closed system which do not permit the transfer of mass across their boundary are known as non-flow process. There is no transfer of mass. It is non-flow process actually happen in closed system in which mass transfer does not takes place. In this system, energy cross the boundary but not the mass, as we have seen already. The system actually it is a closed system. The system in which energy takes place, energy transfer takes place, but mass does not. Therefore, it is non-flow process. Now, flow process, the process occurring in open system in which you can see mass is also transferring and energy also transferring. The process occurring in open system which permit the transfer of mass to and from the system are known as flow process. In this process, mass enters the system and leaves after enhancing energy. That means mass and energy transfer takes place in flow process. There are again two type of flow process. This is one is steady and another is non-steady flow process. Okay, more concept we will see in next lecture. Thank you.